of that across to Vikram Singh, security expert and former DGP. Vikram Singh, other than the politics of what is going on right now and the fallout of that, if one puts the spotlight firmly on this security breach, now that we have some information and all those 6 who were involved, they've been charged under UAPA. Their profile does not suggest that they were terrorists or intended to cause any major harm. But having said that, what they have exposed are major loopholes in Parliament security.
Preeti, good evening. You have hit the nail on the head. There are multiple and horrible fault lines in the security apparatus. I had expected a lot more from the professional people there. There you have the marshals there in the Parliament. Let us go from backwards. What were they doing? They were mute spectators to the entire mayhem. Obviously, they had put on a lot of weight and they required more training and had to be more mentally, physically alert with proper reflexes. We would have done well to get the commandos of the paramilitary forces, the men and women, who would have done justice to the case. Not a single marshal intervened. Now, going back to the perimeter security, the less said the better. The 2-level and the 2-tier checking, obviously, they did not see, the watchers did not identify anything that was unnatural in the gate. You put a cartridge in your shoes and you continue to walk unnaturally. 4 people walking unnaturally, 2 people walking unnaturally. The visitors gallery is supposed to have people and the marshals watching over all those in the gallery. And in the gallery, it takes 35 seconds for a person to get up from his seat, go to the railing and jump down. And 35 seconds is almost the amount in which you can throw a hand grenade also. That is why it's known as 80-36. Now, the intelligence operation for a person doing a recce of the rounds of the Parliament House, had you had AI, artificial intelligence enabled some kind of a ComSir software, you would have known that the suspicious movement of a particular individual, and they would have alerted and red flagged these individuals who were doing recce of the Parliament House. What are we doing? Are we living in the Middle Ages? These technologies are available to us for the last 2 or 3 decades. We did choose not to do them. We allowed grass to grow underneath our feet, Preeti. And I would say suspension of the security personnel is not the answer. I would have been very happy if a case is registered against them and they are dismissed from service. We paid a very heavy price 22 years ago, 13 December 2001. And we're almost on the verge of paying a much heavier price. Yes, a dry run has been done. All the ingredients of the crime are there. You're very right that they seem to be totally misguided. Unfortunately for them and the families, the ingredients of UAPA are very much there. It's a different matter that the gun did not fire. Therefore, as the law states, they will have to pay the price for the offense and the misdemeanor that they have committed. And it is going to have far-reaching negative consequences. Neelam has 6 degrees and a net qualified person. For I don't know why on earth did she have to do a thing like that. Anmol would have been in the army, but yes, he could not make it. That does not give him the right to enter the parliament and do what he did. Also, Lalit Jha, the mastermind, as of now, Preeti, I would not say that the buck stops at the table of Lalit Jha. There is much more to it than what meets the eye. Much more to it than what meets the eye.
Vikram Singh, we've gone through the profile. These are not terrorists. They are misguided youth at the best. But what they have done is strong enough to invoke UAPA charges against them, and they're going to pay for it right now. And this would be an example which would be set, especially if you look at the profile of these, young men in, Neelam there. But having said that, if they had intentions, Vikram Singh, what could have happened?
If the intention were there, I shudder to think what could have been the possibility and the potential of this intrusion. All the ingredients are there, but the fact that those were smoke canisters, had there been grenades, firearms, or IEDs, things would have been very different. It would have been an unmitigated disaster, to say the least, Preeti.
An unmitigated disaster, to say the least. What are we looking at, Vikram Singh, now when UAPA charges have been slapped on these 4 at least? Of course, there's one on the run. But what do we expect in terms of the outlook where the case is concerned against these 4? Because earlier on, what was indicated was there was no terror angle, but yes, a security breach angle. But now terror charges have been slapped on these 4.
Well, starting from the Bhagat Singh fans club, I think it's a very perverse interpretation of Shaheed-e-Azam Bhagat Singh's life and philosophy, who stood for pain, sacrifice and effort. And look what they have picked up from the philosophy of Amar Shaheed Bhagat Singh. They chose to enter the Parliament House and do and indulge in an anti-national act. But to your question, there are short-term ramifications and long-term. Short-term, yes, for face saving, yes, most of the culprits who were the soldiers have been accounted for. UAP has been slapped. And I would presume that the National Security Act, Sub-Clause 1, public order would also be invoked in a matter of time. But the long term is that agreed that Neelam was a habitual agitator and figured in the farmers' agitation and also other undesirable activities. But that is still not sufficient reason for a person go deeper into it. If I were, I would have individual interrogation and also collective interrogation, lie detector test, and see the deeper, because these things run rather deep, Preeti, and just to touch the surface would meet surface, but to go deep into the larger conspiracy, what was their funding? A travel at this point of time at the year end from Bangalore to Delhi translates into almost 15,000 rupees one way. Multiple travel from Bangalore, Lucknow and to Delhi also translates into a lot of money. These people, all the accused, do not have it in them to spend that kind of lavish money, and also Lalit Jha also. Where was this money coming from?
Okay, so
And
you see a
also have the financial
larger plot there, which doesn't
that.
end just at Lalit Jha. Appreciate you joining us, Vikram Singh. Thank you there.